Coming to you live from an undisclosed location deep in the heart of American flyover country. Not quite as cold today, but still snowy. I'm Jeffrey Daugherty, the Christian whistleblower. We are under the radar, but definitely over the top today and every day. Very, very glad to be with you. Coming to you today with a topic that is not going to be one of my favorite topics to discuss, but might be one of the more important topics to discuss. The thumbnail makes it look a little difficult to understand. It's about loving addicts and addicts in love. It's not loving addicts in love, but loving addicts, ... and addicts in love. For addicts and those that love them, relationships in addiction. Ladies and gentlemen, let me quote some statistics for you. According to the National Survey on Drug Use and Health, 21.5 million adults 12 and older battle substance abuse disorder. 80% of individuals suffering from a substance abuse disorder struggle with an alcohol use disorder. Over 7 million Americans battle a drug use disorder. 1 out of every 8 people who suffered from a drug use disorder also struggled with alcohol and drug use disorders simultaneously. Substance Abuse and Mental Health Services Administration says that almost 8 million adults battled both a mental health disorder and a substance abuse disorder or co-occurring disorders. Wow. $200 billion in healthcare, criminal justice, legal, lost workplace participation costs, Office on National Drug Control Policy reports. And lest you think it's just a United States problem, the World Health Organization estimates that the global burden of disease related to drug and alcohol issues to be 5.4% worldwide. So 6% of people worldwide involved in a debilitating alcohol or debilitating substance disorder, or just an debilitating disorder, period, some type of an addiction. And because it's so prevalent, one could even say it's ubiquitous within our culture, and because the desire to be in relationships is ubiquitous within our culture, I felt like I would touch the third rail that nobody wants to touch. I'll talk about the things that nobody wants to talk about, because we're going to help people win battles that no one else even wants to talk about. This is going to be tough. This is going to be hard. And this is going to be really, really powerful. I want to talk about those that are in love with or are considering being in a relationship with an addict. And I want to talk to addicts that are in or considering being in relationships. And I want to talk to a few different classes of people. I want to talk to basically 3 categories. I want to talk to those of you that are using addicts. You are full-blown using addicts. I want to talk to you. And I want to talk to the people that are in relationships or considering entering into romantic relationships with people that are using addicts. I also want to talk to addicts that are in recovery that have children at home. Addicts that are in recovery that have children at home. And I also want to talk to people that are in relationships with or are considering being in relationships with recovering addicts that have children at home. And finally, I want to talk to addicts that are in recovery that do not have children at home anymore. And of course, talk to those people that are either in relationships with them or considering entering into relationships with addicts who are in recovery that do not have children at home. So first of all, let's start with addicts that are currently using and those considering or in relationships with these addicts. To those of you that are addicts and you're using addicts, stop having relationships and end the ones you're in. Stop having relationships and end the ones you're in. All you're doing is creating more pain. All you're doing is drawing people into your cycle of destruction. All you're doing is hampering your ability to recover by surrounding yourself with people that are going to be codependent and are going to help you continue to prolong your cycle of recovery and help you find excuses and reasons not to recover. If you're a using addict, stop having relationships and end the ones you're in. You're only bringing more pain. Let's be honest. If you're a using addict, you've already got a love in your life. Your love is what you're using. Your main priority is what you're using. You are dedicated to what you use. You're in love with what you use. Your life is what you use. There's no room in your life for anything else. And to bring someone into your life when you already are married, in love, in an exclusive relationship with your addiction is super bad karma, super bad energy, and just the wrong thing to do. And to keep somebody in that is the wrong thing to do. In the relationships you're in, don't have relationships. Your love is already what you're using. There's no room in your life for anything else. And let's face it, you've got enough problems, bro. You got enough problems, sister. You got enough problems. You should be like, I don't know if it was Puff Daddy or Jay-Z or one of them guys that said 99 problems and a relationship ain't one of them. That's you. You got plenty of problems. And you don't need a relationship adding to those problems. You need to get out of the addiction that you're in. You need to get out of the addiction that you're in. Tracy says your addiction is the other woman. I disagree, Tracy. The person they're with is the other woman. Their addiction is the woman. And let's face it, folks. If you are an addict that's currently using, you've got nothing to give. Nothing to give. All you got is take. Be a man. Be a woman. Be a good person. If you're an active using addict, terminate relationships. Don't seek relationships. You're already in an exclusive relationship. And you don't need any more problems. And you got nothing to give, cousin. Now, to those that are in love with or considering loving active users in the relationship now, don't even watch the rest of this video. Pack your stuff and go. Pack your stuff and go. It's your only hope. And theirs. As long as you're there, you're going to be drawn into their cycle of destruction. And as long as you're there, you may be what keeps them from owning up and facing down their addiction. They have another love. They're married to what they're using. You're their backup. You're their backup. You're the other woman. You're the other man. You're the backup, cousin. They love him or her more than they love you. They're going to take care of her first. They're going to take care of him first. They're going to take care of them first. You're way down the list. You deserve better. And they deserve the chance to get better. Leave now. Leave now. All right. To those of you that are in recovery and have children at home, you're in recovery and you're still raising children. First of all, congratulations to you. Congratulations for getting yourself into recovery. Congratulations for making the decision and following through the process to get yourself into recovery. But remember, you're still an addict. I talked with one of the most prestigious recovery centers in the United States and really in the world. And I asked them one simple question. When someone graduates from your program or any other program, are they still an addict? And the answer was, yes, they are. They'll always be addicts. I talked with singers in two of the most popular singing groups of all time. I won't name names, but I talked with a person from Chicago, this group Chicago, and from a person from the group Aerosmith, personally on the phone. One of those people has been in recovery for 28 years. One of those people has been in recovery for 31 years. And I asked them, are you still an addict? Yes, I'm an addict. Are you still an addict? Yes, I'm still an addict. I'm still in danger of using every day. Congratulations to you. I salute you for being in recovery. I really do. If it's 1 day, 1 year, 2 year, 3 year, 4 year, 5 year, I congratulate you for being in recovery. And let me say, and remember, I'm not just saying this from the top of my head. For 20 years, I counseled people as a pastor. In the almost 20 years after that, I've continued to work with people in spiritual counseling, deliverance, entity cleansing, whatever you want to call it. In my personal life, I've had more than one relationship with a person that was dealing with various stages of addiction. So I'm talking from years of clinical, I use that term loosely, it's pastoral counseling. Come on, it's not like I'm Hannibal Lecter. Oh boy. But sort of clinical experience and from personal relational experience. And to those of you that are in recovery with children at home, let me say very clearly and very powerfully to you, if you're in recovery and you have children at home, don't have relationships. Let me say it again. If you're in recovery, and congratulations to you, and you have children at home that you're still raising, do not have relationships. Jeff, that sounds so harsh. You're still an addict. And let's face it, folks, 80 to 95% of your energy is self-focused, just trying to stay clean. Let's be real. 80, 85, 90, 95, 96, 99% of your energy, 99% of your power, 99% of your mental abilities, 99% of your social skills, up to 99% of your energy is just maintaining your victory. I salute you, but you're still an addict. And 80 to 95% of your energy is spent self-focused, staying clean. The remaining 20, 15, 10, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 belongs to your child or your children. Cousin, God bless you. God's bless you for where you've come from. God's bless you for what you're doing. But I'm going to tell you straight, almost all your energy goes to staying clean, and the little bit of you that's left that you can give away, give to your kids, not some dude, not some chick. Your child has no choice. I don't want to get into the argument of did your child pick you as a parent from a previous life, but in this life, Your child has no choice. They don't have the choice of not having an addict for a mother. They don't have the choice of not having an addict for a father. And they deserve everything you can give them. And because of your addiction and your recovery, again, congratulations. I've never been addicted. I have no idea how much it takes for you to do what you're doing. But I do know I've been there. I've done that. I've seen how much it takes. And 80% is very, very optimistic. It's probably closer to that 95% of all your energy is self-focused on you staying clean. Give the rest to your kids. Forget the dudes. Forget the chicks. Give the rest to your kids. Do the right thing. You've got nothing to give to anyone other than your child. Now, maybe you can have a friend with benefit situation when the child's not around. If the person is fully briefed and fully understands and fully goes along with it, maybe. If you're in recovery, you've got kids, you've got very little to give it to your kids. Don't steal from your children. This is hard, but haven't you stolen enough from them already? Give it to your kids. To those that are in relationships or are considering being in relationships with recovering addicts that have children, leave now. They're addicts. Leave now. They're addicts. I'll repeat it. 80 to 95% of their energy is self-focused on them just to keep them not using. They're not selfish. They're not narcissists. They're using everything they got to stay clean. They're using everything they got to continue to win to keep the battles they've won. And their kids deserve the rest you're stealing from children. You remember the old Jerry Maguire movie where Cuba Gooding tells Jerry Maguire he's shoplifting the pootie because he was having sex with a single mom. And that wasn't even a single mom that was addicted. That was an addict. That was in recovery. Bad, bad juju, ladies. Bad, bad juju, men. You're stealing from the children. The children don't have a choice. You do. Do the right thing for them. Do the right thing for yourself. And do the right thing for the person that you're considering being in a relationship with, because they don't have the time to give to you. Somebody's going to lose. It'll either be the kids or it'll be them in their recovery. And quite frankly, you deserve better. You deserve better. You deserve better. All right. To those that are in recovery and don't have kids at home, we'll talk about some mitigating circumstances at the end here. To those that are in recovery and don't have kids at home, in regards to relationships, I just want to ask you, how selfish are you? How selfish are you willing to be? Because it's still going to take 80 to 95% of your energy to be focused on staying clean and not using. Is it fair to ask another human being to live with your leftovers? Now, I'm sure that as the years move on, you get 1, 2, 3, 5, 10, 15 years clean and sober. It probably takes less consumption of your energy. I don't know because I haven't been there. Now, to those that are loving or considering loving recovering addicts without kids, I ask you, how much are you willing to hurt and suffer? How much are you willing to give? How masochistic are you, and not in a good way? How masochistic are you? Because, ladies and gentlemen, being in a relationship with someone that's not an addict in recovery is hard enough. Being in a relationship with an addict that's in recovery, you get 20% of them at best. 20% of them at best. Cousins, I have to say that is not a prescription for relationship bliss. It's not a prescription for relationship bliss. How much are you willing to hurt and suffer? How masochistic are you? Is 20% at best good enough for you? Well, Cindy B., I'm not reading an article. I wrote what I'm reading. I don't know why people say things when they don't know what they're talking about. I come on here and try to help people, knowing it's not going to do me anything but get kicked in my teeth, and people step up and line up to kick me in my teeth. Well, guess what? I don't care. I don't care. If you want to unsubscribe, it's the red button in the upper right-hand corner. If you're subscribed now, it'll say subscribed. Hover over it, it'll say unsubscribe. Do it now. I'm not trying to build the biggest channel on YouTube. I'm not trying to make everybody love me. I'm not trying to say, oh, how great Jeff is. I'm not trying to get more likes and hearts than anybody else. I'm trying to make a difference in this world. And I've been here and I've done this and I've seen and I know. I'm trying to help make a better world. And if you don't like this, it's because you're too afraid and you know I'm right. Fear is not where the divine works. Your deliverance, like Halo Marquis said yesterday, is on the other side of fear. And I will step up and put it right in your grill, cousin, because I care. Well, Jeff, that sounds so terrible. I'm an addict. I'm in recovery. What do I do? Can I suggest that you leverage your time and leverage your energy toward a full and complete recovery, and leverage the time and energy that you have left towards discovering and carrying out your great basic purpose. Forget about relationships. Forget about boys, forget about girls, whichever one you like, and forget about any combination of the two. Focus on getting yourself right, and then focus on what you can do to give back to the world. What is your great basic purpose? What is your mission? What are you here for? Use the 5, 10, 15, 20% that it doesn't take to stay clean and to not use, and focus it into service to others. And I'm pretty sure from the people I've talked to, service to others is the best way for you to get clean and stay clean. In fact, I think even AA teaches you that. Now, to those that are LOAs, lovers of addicts, first and foremost, you have to ask yourself, why? Why am I a lover of addicts? Why am I repeatedly drawn to addicts? Why do I want to stay with addicts? Why do I know it's a bad idea and continue to do it? The first question you have to ask yourself is why? Why? I had to ask myself that question. Didn't particularly like the answer, but why? Why do you take up with addicts? Number two, because it's hard enough with people that aren't addicts. It's hard enough with people that aren't in recovery. Be good to yourself. Stop enabling them Force yourself to ask and answer tough questions, and force the addict in your life to do the same. Let me just recap. So when you cuss me out later, at least you can cuss me out accurately. Because what I said is, if you're a using addict right now, don't have relationships. Stop having the ones that you have, because you're only bringing more pain. Your love is what you're using. There's no room for anything else. You've got enough problems and you got nothing to give. If you're in a relationship with someone that's a using addict in the relationship now, it's your only hope and theirs. They've already got another lover. They're married. You're the backup. You deserve better. They deserve a chance to get better. Leave now. Recovering addicts with children don't have relationships. You're still an addict. 80 to 95% of your energy is self-focused on not using. The remaining belongs to your child. Your child has no choice. Do the right thing. You've got nothing to give to anyone other than your children. If you're loving someone that is recovering and has kids, they're still addicts. Their kids deserve the rest of their energy. They don't have the choice, the kids. You do. Do the right thing for them, the kids. Do the right thing for yourself. Do the right thing for the addict. And you deserve better. For those that are in recovery without kids, how selfish do you want to be? Do you really think giving someone 20% is fair? And are you willing to live with 20%? How masochistic are you? Leverage the time, addicts. Find and fulfill your great basic purpose. Engage yourself in service to others instead of more selfish service to self. Lovers of addicts, ask yourself why you do it. It's hard enough with non-addicts. Be good to yourself. Be good to them. Stop enabling them. Ask yourself the tough questions. Answer the tough questions, and help them ask themselves and answer the tough questions. I don't care if you like me or not. That needed to be said, and that's powerful stuff, and it's transformational stuff. I shouldn't do it, but I'll go into the chat room, and we'll see what we have to see in the chat room, ladies and gentlemen. This is probably inappropriate, but he's here. Somebody still loves me. Of that, I'm sure. It's him, the new Cosmic Kitten, live and in person. Thanks, Rune. I needed a hug right about now. Tough stuff, buddy. But we're trying to help people out. We're trying to help a brother and a sister out. So there he is, the new Cosmic Kitten. Ladies and gentlemen, let's see. What do we got? My drug habit led me to homelessness, eating out of garbage cans. Wow. Well, it sounds like you're back, Michael Murphy. Good for you. Lena's husband loved her through active addiction twice. You know what? Congratulations. Congratulations to Lena. Congratulations to your husband. And I'm taking nothing away from the tremendous miracle that you've experienced. And for every one story like that, there's 1,001 where it went the other way, and there's 1,001 where the results were tragic. Congratulations to you, Lena. Fantastic to you, Lena, and to your husband. I salute you. That's the exception, not the rule. Tried to get past it. It got too bad. Yep. I've seen a few friends in-law and a conqueror of addicts. I'm not sure what that means. Addict in recovery with 5 children and 3 still at home. I salute you. I am in your corner. My ex is addicted to methadone, someone says. I thought methadone is supposed to get you off of addiction. Shows you how much I know. It's difficult, especially when an injury and chronic pain leads to narcotic use, especially in a long-term relationship, because how do you leave? Well, I leave that with you. These days they have clinics that dose and keep it legal, but it's still an addiction, yes. Completely agree. It's torture for the other person. and the kids and the family as a whole. It comes down to choices, says Lena. Damn, Jeff's not pulling any punches today. Well, why should today be different, Nick? We left. He went to jail. We were done. Yeah, that's so sad. You will eventually lose everything. It affects you more than you know. Yes. Do you choose the one you're with, or do you love yourself more? Good question. My husband was strong enough to hold our life together, but not with me included, unless I was 100% sober. Well, good for him, and good for you. It destroyed my family. I allowed it. I own it. I ended it. Good for you. An addict in a relationship is normally just using someone as a crutch to maintain some normalcy and financial help. Jerry, brother, that's true. That's so true. You can't remove them if you are the other parent. Well, you can move out is what I mean. Say bye. Well, bye. The addict puts the addiction above all, even their health. Absolutely. Codependency one way or another, says April. I love him, but he is clean and sober 4 years now. Salute. Addicts won't stop unless they see it's to their detriment. Over 9 years of this nightmare, and it is. I sat in a, what's that called, Al-Anon meeting, and listened to story after story after story. And the thing that kept coming in my head was, why don't you leave? And then I said, oh, why don't I? Right? Wow. That's what I did. I had to wake up and get my stuff together and stay out of relationships, says Michael Murphy. Salute. An addict who gets their prescription legally doesn't think it's an addiction. Well, you know that it is. You are plan B, says Lena. Most people involved with addicts are codependent. That's the problem. You can't fix anyone. You become the a-hole for suggesting they live with pain instead. I get it. Everyone's addicted to something. I don't accept that, but I understand what you're saying. They won't stop until it hurts them. Ooh, good thing, Mark Center's saying. You're exactly right. It's a lifelong decision you got to make every day, says Lena. I salute you again, Lena. It wasn't until I left my alcoholic husband, says Shayla, that he got his stuff together. Salute you, Shayla, or Shayala. I don't know how you pronounce it. That's what I'm talking about, cousins. I have a friend who uses some stuff every day. She does good. Great. I think it's a lot of codependency. I was in recovery 10 years when I relapsed. Ooh. Wow. I was in recovery for 10 years when I relapsed for 3 years. Now 4 years clean again. Another salute. Boy, that's tough. Good for you. Some real general judgments of those who love and deal with addicts and have recovered. They go into trenches and shine their light. 15 years sober myself. Gemma, I'm sorry that facts are stubborn things. And I'm sorry that I'm the guy with nothing to lose that'll bring it the way it is. But everything I said is true. Everything I said is real. I've seen it. I've been there. I've done that. And you know it. I'm not aiming at anybody. I'm just saying, come on, guys. Let's live in the real freaking world. Everybody that's in recovery deserves a pat on the back. Absolutely. In a way, we're all addicted to something, says Mark. Money, power, drugs, sex, alcohol. I hear you. I hear you. Don't drag people in and out of your children's life. Amen. Salute. It becomes another addiction. Yep. Great stats from the guy in Rogan yesterday. I didn't listen to that. Keep your children safe, says Chrissy. Who are you saying this to? Christ heals, Jeff. 15 years sober without the condition of not functioning with others. Father is the strength and healing. Kids have all of me. No, you don't know. No, you don't know. I'm glad it worked for you, but the world you're living in is not the real world. The world that's real is the world I just discussed. And you may not like it. It may not sound good. It may not have enough unicorns. It may not have enough daisies. There may not be enough rainbows. But I've talked to people that run centers. I've talked to people that have been clean for 31 years. Dude, rock and roll addicts. And they choose to disagree with you, Gemma. Now, you have the right to your opinion, and I respect it. And I respectfully say, I can't, that's not the world that I see around me. April says, I'm addicted to y'all. Probably so. Great advice, kids first. Nobody will love you as unconditionally as your kids will. That's true. Did you just say recovering addicts don't deserve someone? No, I said recovering addicts don't have time for someone, and they don't have the time they do have, they should give to their children. Dudes addicted to muscle and testosterone. Yeah, that's possible. Although, I don't know. I have to ask Jay. I don't know if that's literally possible to be addicted to testosterone. I don't know if it is. I really don't know. It's a hormone. I don't know if you can be addicted to testosterone. Because if you get too much of it, it does bad things to you. I don't know about that, Cindy. We'll ask Jay on Monday. People are made to falsely believe that they need something outside of themselves in order to be happy. Yes. By the way, that's stereotypical. Reading the statistics does not qualify you to advise that clean addicts are all in. Gemma, the 40 years in the real world, watching it from ground level, qualifies me to share what I've learned. If that bothers you, I'm sorry. Actual selfish behavior is usually indicative of relapse behavior. Ooh, I don't know. That's interesting. Everybody suffers until the addict loves themselves and gets themselves together, but that doesn't mean I couldn't heal my marriage and my kids once I was in the right place to be able. I got it. Thanks, Robert. It does hurt, Crystal. It hurts to have to say it. I can't even imagine how it hurts to live it. And I didn't read an article in Stats. Hate or love Jeff. He tackles issues few men dare to. I do rush in where angels fear to tread. Thank you, Ken. And I don't do it for any other reason than care, concern, and trying to make a difference. You can't change the world without changing the world. And you can't change the world without facing the world that needs the change. You can't give something you don't have. Thanks for sharing your thoughts. You're welcome. How much of that 20% leftover will have adulted enough to develop healthy laughing? That's a good point. That's a good point, Omega. You have confidence not to be offended easily. Yeah, that's true. Thank you, Cindy. I want to thank you, Jeff, for what you're doing. It's not easy. Thank you. It isn't easy. I'm sorry, but addicts are horrible, making others' life harder. I don't think addicts are horrible. I think addicts act horribly. I think they're the same as you, the same as me, the same as Rooney. They're the same as everybody. They just got caught in a place they can't get out of. Addicts are not horrible people. The addicts I've known are not horrible people. They just act horribly because they are not in their right mind. They are under control. They're really possessed by a substance. So I understand your sentiment, but I would have to say addicts are not horrible people. They just act horribly a lot of the time. It's true for what I've seen. Been working with addicts for almost 30 years, Gemma. Jerry's been working with addicts for almost 30 years, Gemma. And he knows 15 people that just cleaned up and are straight. Most addicts are functioning addicts at best. And that's why I did this program today. Not because I don't like addicts, but because it's the real world. And we have a mission to change this world. And if you're an addict and you get yourself into recovery, use what you got left to take care of your kids if you got them. And if you don't, use what you got left to change the world and forget about doing other stuff until you get yourself to a place where you don't need 80, 95% of your time to stay clean. And if you're looking to be with somebody like that, ask yourself why you want to be. There's too much work to be done. And I'm not even going to say it. How do we avoid becoming an addict? Boy, if I knew the answer to that, Been sober since 2010, says Walk in Wisdom. Wow. That's almost 9 years. Good for you. I live it. I know it exactly that there's some stereotypical judging going on here, guys. No, there's not, Gemma. You know, when I was preaching, I used to say, oh, the truth found you, huh? The truth found you, Gemma. Crystal, salute. That's 13 years. Boom. I don't think you should start a new relationship while you're still fixing things, but a relationship can survive addiction. So can a family. I'm living proof. And again, salute, Lena. But for every one of you, there's 1,001 where it ended badly and 1,001 more where it ended tragically. I'm talking about reality. Because the truth is, as Chrissy says, addicts are like vampires. They're always taking. And think about it. Think about what's his name from Twilight? Edward. He didn't like to drink blood, but he had to drink blood. The addict doesn't like to do what they're doing. I mean, sometimes they think they do, but they really don't. But they got to keep doing it. Just like that vampire's got to keep biting and sucking. Addicts got to keep biting and sucking. And they're looking for somebody to bite and suck. And you got to decide if you're going to be the one that does this or the one that walks away. Ooh, that's hard, but it's good. It's good. Chaos is fun. Yeah. Mom of a recovering addict here. This is difficult, but you're on point, says Joyce Marie. Some deserve to be. Anyway, why does one turn to harmful drugs to begin with? That's a great question. Break the chain. Absolutely. I'm going to go through all of these, and it just jumped on me. Doggone it. Alcohol is so freely available. Jeff, you've just tipped the iceberg on this one. You need to do more. I don't know what else to do about this. This is all I know about it because this is all I've lived about it. Break the chain. There we go. Your words are truth. I just hope the addicts listen. Thank you. If you're addicted to church, go to a 12-step program. How do you find your great basic purpose? That's the beginning right there, asking. Yep, there's the cat. Realities for people who can't handle drugs. We needed that. Remember, we're looking for our better half. You're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome. Oh, Shannon King, clean and sober 9 months. Boom. Good for you. Son and girlfriend, clean and sober, off heroin for a year. Boom, boom, boom. Love it. Love it. So sad, Tess. Scripts are worse than street drugs. It's an epidemic. I would agree to that. Oh, boy. Someone went from pain pills to heroin. Good for you, Walk in Wisdom. Smoked crack for 5 years. Now I have no desire for it. Good for you, Hilliard. My husband's still using. He died of an overdose last month. Took an hour to bring him back. Whew. Wow. Wow. Heroin, methadone is prescribed for heroin withdrawal. Problem is, methadone's harder to get off of. Oh, I understand. We become addicted to saving the addict. That was part of my issue, Amanda. I'm open to suggestions, Ken. Alcohol is so freely available. Alcohol kills more people than guns. I don't know about if that's true or not, but I mean, hey, I'm not going to take the time to look it up. I don't always agree with Jeff, but he's like Star Trek. He goes where no man has gone before. Thank you, Ken. Great and difficult, but much needed message today. Hugs for all who have been working through this. I got to get to work. Take care, Mark. It is a tough crowd because it's a tough subject. Most can't stand being alone with themselves because it leads to introspection. Yeah, that's true. The world is hard, but people don't need drugs. Former addict of Rapture watching. I was set free. Boom. There you go, Tyler. They're trying to make addicts. Of course they are. Absolutely, they're trying to make addicts. It was easier for me to quit smoking crack than smoking cigarettes. That's interesting. The dating world is crazy, says Dawn. She's learning the signs of addiction. Good. Do it. Most people don't talk about the things you do. That's why I love the show. Thank you. Thank you. Military guys are addicted to adrenaline. Yeah, I don't know if it's a really addiction, but I see what you're getting at. Thank you, Shannon. Everything has a place in your life. You can learn from everyone, even the addict. Yeah, how much are you willing to suffer? I'm just trying to show you the easiest way. Alcohol is called spirits for a reason. Drugs have spirits too. I agree. I think drugs allowed entities in. They might. All things in moderation. Well, let's say most things in moderation. If it wasn't for addiction, I would not have learned as much as I have. I can see that. May I suggest that you might have been able to learn the same thing without addiction? Can I suggest that? B13, but salute to you for learning. What spiritual technologies help with addiction? EFT. You can look that up on this channel. Fluffy will help with addiction. Mystech can help with addiction. Meditation can help with addiction. As an addict, Oblique says, you're 100% right. Thank you, Oblique, and salute to you. Fermented alcohol drinks are a breeding ground for all kinds of parasites. Yep. Thankfully, walk-in wisdom, I have never struggled with addiction. I've never even seen cocaine. No, I won't say that I've never struggled with addiction. I'm going to tell you a story that I don't tell many people. I think I'll get to the end. Muslims think alcohol is a soul-sucking demon. They might be right. And I hate to say this, Nick, and here I go. I have the right to remain silent, but I lack the ability. I've been dealing with someone horribly addicted to kratom or however the hell you say it. Just saying. Thank you, Kimmy. I don't like my reality, so I alter my perception. You can do that in a healthy way, B13. Absolutely. I was addicted for 5 years to prove I could stop. I don't know if that's a joke or not, but that's funny. Either way. And again, I see that kratom come up, and all I know is, man, it might be the methadone. My mom did an amazing job. Tess says, I've been in and out of rehabs for 13 years. Sherry Lynn says, and she finally got it done without 12 steps because she finally wanted it. Salute. Anything that corrupts the mind and destroys the body. Alcohol is demon possession. No one can help make you stop using. You have to make up your own mind. We love you. Thank you, Shannon. I was dating a beautiful young lady when I lived in Las Vegas. She was about a year sober. And I told her as we fell in love that if she ever had any problems relapsing, I wouldn't leave her. I would help her as long as she didn't lie to me. Long story short, a couple of years later, she started lying. And I found out with her grandparents who she lived with that she was using again. We went to her. She said she didn't want to get clean. So I broke up with her. About 6 months later, I got a phone call that she was dead of an overdose. Might have been intentional, might have been accidental. So don't tell me that I don't know what I'm talking about. Because I do. Would I have done it again the same way that I did it then? Yeah. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. It's up to you. It's not up to me. Doesn't matter what I think. Doesn't matter what I believe. Doesn't matter what you think. It only matters what you think. And it only matters what you believe. Sometimes we deal with real life. And if you want to look at another channel that doesn't, that's your right. If you stay around here, you're going to get some of this. Because we give it to you real. We give it to you straight. We give it to you wall-to-wall, treetop tall, pedal to the metal. And I'm going to remove your kratom statement, David, because I'm afraid that it's potentially very dangerous. So please don't advocate kratom use anymore in the chat room. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be back later today. More great podcast excellence. I appreciate every one of you. I appreciate Gemma being honest and sharing her opinion, even though she got a little preachy. Give her a little bit of grace because of the subject matter. And I appreciate all of you that shared your opinions. You may not agree with me. You may not disagree with me, but that's okay. We're talking. Nick, no, you don't have to say you're sorry, bro. That's your right to believe it, and that's your right to advocate it. But I feel a responsibility that I have to say, let's not advocate that anymore because I've had some really bad experiences with it. So totally salute to you, Nick, for being polite, and it's an open discussion. And my email is Gotham, like in Batman, LTD. And then Joseph just wants to be a dick, so he can get kicked out. GothamLTD@gmail.com. We'll be back with some stuff that's not so heavy next time, but I felt like I had to do it or I couldn't live with myself. Sometimes it ain't easy being the Christian whistleblower, but you got to be true to your purpose. I do care. I do appreciate you. And I do wish you nothing but the very best of the best. Guide your own spirit, master your own ascension, be your own guru. Ask yourself hard questions and then question those answers that you get. Drill down until you know that you have unindoctrinated yourself. I'm in your corner. I've got your back, and I know you can make it. I'm Jeffrey Daugherty. Love, light, favor upon you. You can, you will make it. We'll do it together.